Hi everyone and welcome to Write Your Narrative. We are back in Wynwood today with a very special guest. You may know his work, but you probably don't know his face because he's not showing his face. So he has a very specific character that is doing all over Miami, that little famous miracle ghost. So, the miracle ghost, welcome to the podcast. How are you today?
My friend, thank you so much. Thank you for having me.
No, thank you so much for what you're doing. This special character that you bring to Miami, to the art scene.
Thank you, man. Appreciate it.
You are from Venezuela. You've been in Miami. You grew up in Miami, actually, or you were?
No, I actually moved to Miami.
Okay.
In 2010. Yeah, but I was born and raised in Venezuela. Moved here to study.
And stayed here, but you studied some philosophy at the University of Miami. You have high honor from the Miami International University in art and design. So you have a designer background that you use every day for your work?
Yeah. Academically speaking, it's like I have my background, but
you owe everything to the streets.
Everything. I'm in love with the streets. Everything I do, everything I am, everything like...
It comes from the streets.
It comes from there. Yeah, the academical aspect helped me, like, not only refine, but as well, like, getting to know more about, like, specific concepts and more
about his art, yes.
More about the art world. Because, I mean, when I started writing, I wasn't interested at all into the arts, at all. For me, it was just like, let's get to the streets and that's it. But then when I started like getting more interested into the arts, I started, getting into the books, studying, and I was like, okay, there's something I'm not paying attention to that can really help me elevate what I'm doing in the streets. And that was the reason why I study arts. It was not like I'm an artist, let me do this. I'm a writer. Art can help me elevate my graffiti, my understanding. So you are a writer too. You don't just do that character. You do write. Oh yeah. 100%. Yeah.
Your name under the writers, AES. Okay, AES, which means it means nothing. All right. Nothing. Don't expect anything else. It doesn't mean anything.
I mean, the reason why of that name was when I started writing. I was like 15, 16 years old, and my boy, Hope. So we call the names in Venezuela. We call the names like we read.
Okay, Hope.
It's Hope. Yeah, and he gave me that name. He was like, you know what, bro? Like, there's this name. You should write this. And I'm like,
so all right.
So yeah, like the name.
Okay.
Somebody gave that name to me.
Okay, good.
Special friend.
So AES, these are the three letters that this was the first name that you took going on the street. That's the only name.
The only name. I've been writing
since day one.
Day one.
The ghost was born here in Miami.
There was
yes.
To say in a way, it was like a breakthrough to me to study art. And I was like, you know what? Let me do something different.
Of course.
This is like a thought in my head. It was a thought like I want to do something different. Because I've been writing for so many years. And I'm like, well, what can I do? And one thing led to another one.
The ghost came to me.
But I've always been very interested into characters. Always, like I've always watched cartoons, and I'm very into anime, manga, but it never been like I'm gonna develop my own character or cartoons or whatever. I was always into writing the name AES, tagging, bombing, doing pieces. And then when I like got serious into arts, I started experimenting more, exploring different like areas that they weren't within my knowledge, and eventually like this character came to me. It was literally
it appeared to you. But this ghost has pretty big meaning. You are on your website, on your bio, you mentioned the interpretation of Zeitgeist, which is like a German name. Each era has its own character, and this would be your character for the year 2004 for this era. So that's also pretty interesting meaning that you gave to that ghost?
Yeah, 100%. Because for me, was like there was a part of my life where I was getting suspicious about life. Like, what is this about? You know, I got into the existential questions, and that was the time that I was studying
philosophy, yes,
and philosophy at the University of Miami. And because of studying, philosophy, I got deeper into like the existential questions. And I'm like, you know what? There's something fishy about this, like about life, about what is this all about? And so the deeper I got into that, I was like, you know what? If I'm gonna do something, if I'm gonna paint, sculpt, or do whatever the fuck like I wanted to do,
a meaning, something, yes,
a meaning connected to the very essence of life. And so that's why like I wanted to explore more and more and more and more. And by exploring that and trying to not get away from graffiti, but to explore other aspects of my life, of my environment, I came up with this character that was like, oh my god, like it's perfect. It's like it says
exactly
what I'm feeling inside. It's beyond just like, because I mean, don't get it twisted, like the desire to do graffiti.
I'm sure. All of you guys. I mean, you really have this in your blood. I mean, and I met so many guys, and I have so much respect for you guys. So much respect for you. I really do appreciate that, and I'm so grateful that so many people have embraced that culture too, which still has a bad connotation, for the people who don't understand. This is just vandalism. I mean, this is just way beyond this, way beyond this. And this is such an awesome thing that here in Wynwood, we are so grateful to have a museum of graffiti, some institution that really understands and explains to the people who have no understanding, no knowledge of that graffiti culture and all the rules that implies with it. I mean, this is so important for to educate the people in this. And I'm so happy 100%. That I can do one little part in this community to help you, to give you a voice. And like I say, I have tons of respect. You want to show your face, you don't want to show your face for any reasons you have. It's something very personal. And the fact that you have a ghost, which is something like a character that moves at night, just like undercover, and then you decided to not show your face, to cover your face, there's something similar, there's something that runs into parallel things. So that's really...
Yeah. And just to say something regarding what you just said, like, you're highly appreciated, man. Like, thank you for doing what you do again. I said it out of record.
Thank you.
And I'm saying on record.
Oh, well.
Pascal is the man.
I try to do a little something. I'm pushing, I'm giving you a little voice, and this is the best fun I can have. And I have to thank you, all of you, for sharing that thing, to, being part of this into the South Florida art community, street art community. I mean, that community is so alive. I mean, it 24/7. So when did you actually started developing that character? And you say the character was born here in Miami. When did you actually start it? This was right when you were going to school to do this?
That was actually right after school, and I think it was like 2017 or 18, something like that. But it all started.
Right.
So let me tell you the story. So the story goes like this. It's a long story short. I moved to the island of Curacao, right? So I was there for some doing some paper stuff, and I was by myself, doing this thing, and I had that idea in my head that I told you that I wanted to like do something different. It was like haunting me, and I was like, you know what? If I want to do something different, I have to stop doing what I'm doing, and I have to do,
of course, something fresh, something yes.
new. Yeah, but here's the psychological trick about this challenge. So you say, I want to do something different. I need to stop doing the thing that I'm doing. So what am I supposed to do? What is the new thing that I have to do? So I was like, I don't know what to do new, because the new thing doesn't exist. It's only in my head.
It's in the
Or
desire,
it's
yes.
in the desire, to say in a way. It's in the energy. Like, you know, the energy wants to like be born, but there's no way to do it unless I do the thing that I have to do. So what is that thing? I'm like, I don't know what the fuck I'm gonna do. And I'm like, you know what? Maybe I remember that I read at some point about Picasso, something related to like drawing as a child, right? I call it what I did at that time. I call it
okay,
deconstruction. Right, so how do I deconstruct myself? How do I deconstruct my thoughts, the path that I'm going through, and do something new? So let me just like separate it. Let me dissect it, and let me get, you know, to the very basics. Let me go back to the basics. So what is the fucking basics?
Yep.
The basics is like drawing like a child, and so that's what I did. I went back into the basics, where I went back to the basics, and I started drawing like a child. Now, that is a good question. Like, what does that mean? What does it mean, drawing like a child? So, if you think like a child, the child
no, they're free. They're just free. They have no barriers, nothing.
Free.
No, they're getting to know it, but they're so free. They're so free.
Yeah.
And there's no right or wrong. There's just no right or wrong.
Yeah, there's no.
No, they're gonna have that. As a kid, we're gonna learn that much later what is right or wrong. But as a kid, everything flies.
Exactly. So that's what I did. So I went back into that thought. I tried to do it, and I started just like doodling. Every day at 7 in the morning with the sunrise, I will have breakfast and I will brought my sketchbook and do like an hour and a half
interesting.
Just doodling, not thinking about the shapes, not thinking about line, not thinking about composition, not thinking about shit. Just like let me free the hand of the things that I am. So I started doing that, and one and again and again and again and again, and at some point my hand started like being more free.
Yes.
Like after those sessions, I would do like some sketches, and they were like very free. Like I would feel how free the thoughts would.
Your hand, your drawing, your lines, yes.
Yeah, it was very smooth. That, along with the thought or the idea to, you know, not conceptualize, but instead of like trying to grasp the spirit of the universe, you know, the energy of that. Along with that, I started doing this weird characters, these weird forms and shapes, and I'm like, if I think about the universe as a shape, I'm gonna make that shape. But if the universe is everything, if life is everything, you know.
Yes, we are. Yes, we are.
So, if we go down the rabbit hole,
you get the blue pill, the red pill, and you're in trouble.
Yeah. You're gonna realize that there's this energy, there's this omnipresent energy that is exploring itself, that shapes itself into different forms. Call it planets, call it people, call
spirits,
it animals, call it whatever you want.
That's it, yes.
Spirits, whatever. And I'm like, it seems to me that this energy is like very flexible, and right away it came to my mind like it's like water. Like water is very like fluid, very like flexible, and so I started playing with like waterly shapes and stuff like that. And one day I had spent already like a month in that island, and my brother came to visit me with his family. My brother at the time, he had a son and a daughter. His daughter was 3 years old. Her name is Helen.
Yes, of course.
She's my niece. Shout out to my niece Helen. And I remember one of those days where they were visiting. We were having like a drawing session, and I was very interested in drawing with them, especially with Helen, because she was a child.
And that's exactly what we said earlier. Yes.
She didn't know like anything. She's like, and I remember that I told her, "Hey, listen, can you draw me a dolphin?" And she draws this dolphin, like a slide dolphin, and when the dolphin is done, she she draws these happy faces on the side of the dolphin. Like it was very weird but beautiful. And at that time, at that moment when I saw her doing that, I'm like she has no idea that this is the dolphin for her. This is the most beautiful dolphin I've ever seen in my life, and this is like the way she would like see the dolphin. It was so beautiful. So I took that. I'm like, you know what? I need to get into what she's.
It's probably very difficult as an adult with everything that we learn, everything that we need to create something like this. To even understand.
You have
totally.
to get rid of the ego. That you have to put it on a side and say, let me flow with this. And well, that's how really like the ghost came to be. The ghost is like a fluid thing. It's like a water thing with a happy face. And that was the very beginning of the ghost. And then I started just like polishing and doing, tweaking it, and eventually it is what it is today. But in reality, like if I would say how the ghost was born, was in a drawing session with my 3-year-old.
And like you say, it has a happy face. It's not a scary ghost. It's not something meant to scare the people. It's just something that lives, and yes, it has that happy side of a ghost. It's a happy ghost.
Yeah, and like I said before, I wanted to do something that will really like resonate with what I'm feeling about life, and I gotta be honest, man, I'm happy. I mean, I've been
like all of us, yes, we all have days, yeah,
like everybody. But I think like the most what I have enjoyed the most about life is when I'm happy, when I'm like really when I'm present. And so that's why I wanted to do the ghost with a happy face, because we're here to enjoy this life, man. We're not here to...
Yes, there's enough trouble. You got to give your best side. You got to put your best foot forward. Yes, I should try. Definitely. So where did you painted your first ghost here? Did you painted somewhere that was a mural in Miami? Yes.
In Miami? I mean, the first was in Curacao. Those were the first ghosts.
You don't want to see that.
You don't want to see those.
Yes, they're bad.
They're bad. They're very bad. Yeah. They got refined by time, but here, when I did the first one in Miami, damn, where was it?
Oh, okay.
It was probably in Wynwood.
Okay.
It was probably in Wynwood.
I don't know. To me, you really kind of appeared in the Wynwood scene like a few years ago. Probably you were just doing some stuff, or maybe I missed them. Yes, in 18.
18. Yeah, in 2018 I was like already like going hard in Miami. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I was also painting in New York as well. Yeah, because I would trip to New York once in a while, and like I would like paint it there in 2000. I think I was.
Yes, to me, I discover your art. Thank you for the Miami Art Society. This was with JD that I discover your art.
Oh yeah.
Yes, of course. JP was on the podcast last year. Yeah, good guy who has an eye also, who's also seeing different things in the art community here. So another big shout out to him. Yeah. It brings the best of the best, and that's a good thing. So this was through one of his shows that I discovered your art, and what I found out really interesting, that how clean your art was, how clean it was, definitely with this character, with your the way you work, the way you approach your art. This was something very clean.
Yeah. I mean, when it comes to there are two sides of the coin here when it comes to the work done in the streets, the graffiti, and then there's also the fine art. And when it comes to the fine art, it's I'm more like a
yes,
a specialist, where I can take my time and I can
of course
pick my battles in a way. I got my tools, I got my sword, I got my shield. It's a challenge to make those paintings. I'm gonna be honest with you, but I think it's very rewarding when I finish them and people see them. Usually
Yes.
The comments that I get from them is like,
It is
oh my
so,
God,
yes.
it's so clean. Like, is it printed?
Is it printed?
Is
Yes,
it-
exactly.
yeah,
You
I
look
love
at it, it's just like, wow, okay.
Yeah. But
Of course.
it all comes down to the technique. The technique, which is a combination of airbrush, a lot of air, like air gun, airbrush, brushes,
Okay,
acrylics,
so you
oils.
use more airbrushing techniques than actually spray techniques.
Yes.
Yes. When it
Oh,
comes
yeah,
to the fine art
100%.
part,
When it
yes.
comes to the fine arts, it's more airbrush. I barely use spray paint cans. Unless, there's a collector or somebody who wants a commission work with spray paints. Like, they want, like, hey, I want you to use spray paint because
Yeah,
like,
what the
it's just
result
like
will
the
be
smell,
different,
I don't know.
definitely.
Yeah, but I mean, when it comes to my work in the studio, I
Oh, okay,
barely use
interesting,
spray paint.
interesting. So airbrush, but you still go on the street sometime, do some tagging, do some, not too much.
Till I die, man.
Yeah.
Till I die. Yes, until I die. I'm gonna die doing this. And then I mean,
Yeah. Oh,
writers
absolutely,
understand.
absolutely.
It's when you're in love with what you do. There's no way to say, oh, you can take breaks. You can take breaks and say, you know what, like, I'm not feeling it or whatever. But the itch is always there.
Gotta go and tag. Gotta go and tag.
You gotta
And
do it. You just gotta do
so,
it.
where's your favorite neighborhood in Miami beside Wynwood? Yeah.
I love Miami overall, man. I love it, and I happen to have lived in many places in Miami. I've lived in Doral, Coral Gables,
Yeah.
Hollywood, which is not Miami, but it's
Oh yeah, the South Florida, yes.
really.
We're gonna need to
South
invite you
Florida.
unless you've been to Fort Lauderdale, maybe.
Oh yeah, I haven't lived there, but
Yes, you've done a little work over there, no?
Beautiful, man. Shut up.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
You got a few walls over there. Okay.
But yeah, in my favorite area, Miami,
Wynwood, yes.
I'll say Wynwood, man. I love Wynwood. Wynwood is like, and especially like in the last few years,
It is
been
growing like a crazy.
man.
It is growing like a crazy, yes. And there's still something. There will always be something very, very, very special in Wynwood.
Yeah, and I'm impressed, and this is a conversation that I have with a lot of folks, and it's the fact that the Museum of Graffiti
Exactly.
is in Wynwood. It's in Miami. And one would say, like, why it's not in New York or in any other of the where it can be, but it happened to be in Miami.
We are
I
so
think we're very
blessed.
that,
And they're really
yeah.
doing so much for the community. And they just came back from
Yeah,
Paris. They're
100%.
involved with the Formula One. I mean, really, really, Alan and Allison and Kate are really, really doing so much for this community. And we are so grateful to have them once again here in Wynwood. So this is really that character. To me, this was something, and thank you so much for sharing those few minutes and this very specific and with a very deep meaning, which I'm sure you never really shared that much before. Not with a lot of people, for
Yeah,
sure.
never before.
Well, we got the scoop.
story
We
of the
got the
dolphin.
scoop today with this character, with your art, because to me, graffiti is an art, and it is an art form. Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's undeniable that this is a growing art form. It's now recognized. I said that many times. It goes into auction houses when people are buying street art for and graffiti art. Because there's a difference between street art, graffiti art. There's always a little something, a bit of a
100%.
battle between these two.
I think like the most important thing, the to take from these things and this conversation about art is to really understand that art is a verb. When you look at the graffitis, when you look at the street art, when you look at the paintings, you're looking at artworks. You're looking at the things that were made by the artists or the writer, or call it whatever you want, and they were in a moment
Yes.
doing the art, it's the verb, it's the making, and that's why artists create, because they have a feeling, they have a necessity to make the mark, make the scratch, and that's how artworks happen to be. That's the existence of art is because there's a natural necessity, I wouldn't even say a desire.
It's a necessity, yes. Like you said earlier, it's in your blood.
From the artist.
But so many also writers, and once again, all the respect I have for them, are not going or are not willing sometimes to go into the fine art. Like you mentioned, you do studio art, so you really have like a double personality. Maybe when you're on the street, you go by the street rules. When you do fine art for a gallery or for an art show, you apply different rules. So
100%. Like I wouldn't say like apply different rules. You just gotta know the rules, because there are certain this is important, because know the rules, or you gotta be able to break them. You gotta be able to break them and to mold them to in a way that they fit your
existence, the moment, the present moment.
Yeah. Because there's a lot of writers that they're very like, fuck being an artist, whatever.
Oh, we hear that, yes.
Or from my perspective, it's like this. I'm a writer. I'm an artist as well. And the moment I understand those things,
you accept being in both sides of the coin, those sides of the coin, yes.
And depending on the circumstance, if I'm in the studio, I'm gonna do the studio work, and if I'm in the streets, I'm gonna do what I do in the streets.
No,
and
it doesn't.
That doesn't change anything about me. What changes is the circumstance, and I'm like, okay, what are the things that I have to be aware here? What are the things I can use here? And what are the things and how fast do I have to be? Because obviously, when you work in the streets,
it's time. That's it. Time is everything. Yes,
time is everything. Yeah, and when you're in the studio, you can take.
Of course.
Got the element of time, play, because if you're doing like
you have a deadline,
or you have a deadline, whatever. But you still you got more.
Maybe more freedom. Maybe more control. Exactly.
You got more control. Yeah, you got more control of the elements. Like if you don't have something, you can go to the store. Like there's no really like much pressure as if you're painting in the streets.
But so many writers are just not willing to jump the gun. But that's which is fine too. At the end of the day, it's fine too, and all the respect for them.
Yeah, I have many friends that they started as writers, and as of today, they're amazing artists. And I happen to have great respect for them, and I can tell you, like, when a writer really like jumps into a studio, they can make
I'm sure they can
stuff like that. This is I encourage every writer, if they have the desire,
and then to claim themselves that they are artists, and they should they should allow themselves to grow into this
100%,
the life that they chosen, unless they really just want to do it for fun or to destroy. Just go around with a marker and tag everything.
I mean, there's again, like there's a huge boundary when it comes to like just being a writer, and this is what I am, and it's the ego. The ego, like there's something like hermetic about being the writer, being the thing. Like I'm gonna do this, and I'm like, okay, like you're missing out on all this, bro.
There's so much more,
so much to explore. And the fun thing about this, which I don't want to get romantic or anything, but
I'm sure it does.
Grow as a human being.
I'm sure it does. Any kind of evolution, and I'm somehow kind of assuming it's also because of your study with the philosophy and all those things that you kind of open your mind into something different.
Yeah, 100%. I think there's and not only that, like I would say it's also people, man. Like this conversation right now, like I've never done a podcast before. I've always been very like
almost shy of, almost, yes, almost shy of.
But I don't know, it's weird, but you gave me a great vibe, man, and you were so like welcoming. I'm like, you know what, let's do this. And just by doing this, there's like an expansion of, okay, what else can we do? And I'm getting to know you and you're getting to know me. And everybody listening to this, whenever this is out, they're going to know about a little bit more
something
about something
else, yes.
that is out there too.
This is something that I appreciate from you and from all the people that I've interviewed. You allow yourself to become maybe somehow vulnerable to something, and maybe the conversation we just had be talking about the writers and the fine art. Some people may not appreciate that too. Some people may come back to you and say, whatever you say was like, oh dude, you're giving up and everything. I don't think this is true. This is just because everybody is different at the end of the day, and everybody has a different path that we got to be taking. Either you accept it or not. But like you say, you want to grow. You are an individual and you decided to grow. So whatever you do the work on the street or the work in the studio, it's for your own growth at the end of the day, because you want to be whatever makes you happy in your life. And let's try to live a life happy. Let's be happy. There's so much shit going on right now. Let's be happy.
Amen.
Let's be happy. If that goes, put a little smile in your face whenever you see a sticker, whenever you see a painting on the street. Let's just be happy and positive. And be positive. Let's finish with those words of wisdom. Well, yes, thank you so much for the work you do, for these few minutes that we spent together, sharing something different, sharing, like you say, sharing you never had a chance to, or you were never invited to do so. You've been invited?
I've been invited several. Yeah, several. But I'm like, no.
It's just whenever you're ready. Just whenever you're ready. And that's what I do. And there's no pressure whatsoever. I hate to put pressure on the people. You know, it is what it is. Things happen when they happen. And they usually happen for a good reason. I want to think for a good reason. All right. So the miracle goes.
Again, thank you, man. Thank you for inviting me. Thank you for, again,
all right.
everything you do.
So we're going to finish with these words. Folks, we'll see you next week or in a couple of weeks with another episode of Write Your Narrative. But you are definitely writing the Miami narrative with that one incredible character. Stay tuned, guys. We'll see you all soon. Thank you.